Welcome back to Behind the Success. This is episode 3. Today I'm sitting down with Denzil Perkins. Denzil, hang on, brother.
Jed, good thanks.
Me and Denzil go back a couple of years. About 13 we met.
Yeah, age 13.
Age 13, playing local rugby league together, and obviously now he's quite successful in the rugby field. So, Denzil, you want to tell us a bit about yourself, mate?
Met Jed when I was 13, playing for the North Tigers Rugby League Club. First year moving down here actually from Mount Isa, which is where I'm born and raised. I was there all my life up to that point. Moved down on a scholarship, Ipswich Grammar School, for rugby union. Attended IGS for the rest of my schooling career, like from year 8 to 12.
Yep.
And then, from there, played first 15, grade 12, focused more on my union after, moving down on a scholarship. Got selected from playing state champs, as you know, the state champs with Met West. And, I played for Northwest and stuff back then. So, and kind of unfolded from there with playing rugby and enjoyed union and haven't looked back since, really. So,
Well, you're obviously unreal at union. Absolute gun. Currently playing for South Magpies in Premier Grade, but used to be really quick. Well, you're still really quick, but you're awesome at athletics as well. You've kind of stepped away from athletics. Was that a tough decision to step away?
It wasn't really a tough decision. Still keep up with a lot of my speed work now. As you know, at IGS I also did sprinting, national sprinter for 7 years or so. When I was 10, I went to Tasmania and came 6th in Australia for the 100 and 200. So, I guess sprinting's been a big background and it's kind of been a big part of my life. And technical side of things, I've always had that power and speed, which has also helped on the rugby pitch as well. So, with track, stepping away from it, I think the biggest thing for me was I wanted to focus on my rugby career, take that to the next level and try and focus on that. And my coach was quite supportive of that. Di Shepherd, who I don't know if you know who she is, but Gout at the moment, his coach. So I was training with Gout for like 2 years there, training partners. So in school, he was in grade 7, grade 8, and I was in grade 12, and he was keeping up with us, nearly beating us and making us all look bad. But it was good fun. Like
Absolute
school,
freak, that kid.
I'll tell you what, down on that bottom oval, he's a freak, man. He's a freak.
Absolute freak. Well, chat to me a bit about, you've got your Reds jacket on. You've played Reds quite a few times. Not to boast myself a little bit, but we played under 15s Junior Gold Cup together for Queensland White.
What a time.
Absolute memories. When I was about 60 kilos ringing wet.
I was probably a bit less too at the time.
Mate, I was so skinny. But
small little sprinter.
Tell me a bit about that. How do you think making those Queensland sides, like the Queensland Sevens, the Queensland Junior Gold Cup, how do you think that really helped with your development today?
Yeah, well, kind of kick-started from, IGS, the opportunities that school presented me, and then from there, just being in the academy with the Queensland under 15s is really good. Slowly, progressed my rugby and a lot more to do with like my skills and just having the confidence to really take that next step in the game. I think it was really good exposure, especially at that age, especially in rugby union. There's not too many opportunities, as you know. So to be able to provide that opportunity, and then after that go on to play some sevens for QAS, as you played in as well. That was a fun tourney. It was good down on the sunny coast.
When you caught me from where you ran from like other side of the field, and I made the 80-metre break, you caught me right at the try line.
Yeah, I remember that. I even put on the story there for a little bit. Jed made a little breakthrough, and next thing you just see
you with your red headgear coming across the field.
Yeah. But after that, COVID was a big thing, I think. Especially, being a young sportsman, grade 12.
A lot of school footy for a lot of boys.
Yeah. It definitely affected, rugby in school. First 15, we only played 5 games that year. Every game was within 5 points, even against Nudgee College. So hold ourselves high on that one, even though we lost every game. But I think one thing that I can take away from it is the resilience, discipline, sticking to it. Even though tough times presented, it's always good just to reflect back on that. Stick around and see what happens. And luckily enough, I got selected in the Red 16s and stuff, and that was COVID affected as well, so there was no competition for that. And then I got selected into the Elite Sevens for the Reds under 18s for the sevens, and that didn't go ahead as well. Just had some things on with the university, and I also had my national sprinting on at the time, which I was still taking quite serious in grade 12. And 400 meters was my main event around that time. So really focused in on that and did really well. But I tell you what, just slowly and progressed, and then I guess looking at the Reds journey now, moving on to Res 19s in 2023. I took a year off with rugby in 2022. Just to get my body right and get my strength, build it up in the gym. It was my first year of university, so I just didn't know how to balance my workload at the time.
Which is what a lot of people struggle with. First year out of school, they don't really know how to juggle time.
Yeah, definitely. Time and just understanding what you actually want. I think that's the biggest thing. Like a lot of kids that finish school, they're like, "Where do I go now?" And just having your own mindset and being like, "Okay, I want to do this, this, and this in this amount of time." It's quite hard to do. So I think my biggest thing that I tried to focus on was just slowly progressing day by day, and going from there. Whether that might be training at the gym, increasing my strength that way, or I guess even just going down, kicking the footy, practicing some skills. So I was very lucky. I found a good coach in Cian O'Connor. He's an Irish bloke. You can imagine the accent. But he was at Souths, and he invited me out to lunch one day, late 2022, and he asked me if I wanted a beer, but I was like, nah, didn't want one. But had a nice burger, and just kind of kick-started from there. We had a chat, and I went to every training session since, really.
So you talk on that year off. You obviously would have been training heaps. You obviously can't see it because he's wearing a jacket, but this guy is jacked. He's called the Italian Stallion for a reason.
Nicknamed by Jed too.
Back in under 15. But no, like that year off, it obviously was a lot of study, a lot of gym work, a lot of skill work. Did you have much free time at all?
So I'd have free time just by myself. Like at times I would just be there like reflecting. I was working a fair bit too, working 2 jobs at the time.
Working as a glassy.
Just doing a bit of work here and there, and I guess also working at the gym. But I think the biggest thing for me was I found that something was missing, and it was just I missed my footy, missed playing rugby, missed the team environment, the culture, and to go back. And when I did go back, and felt like I was back at home, really. Everything kind of
fell back into place for you.
Fell back into place.
So going back to South playing Colts, she's obviously won it. Was it last year?
Last year,
he's finally cracked the Colts one premiership. But I remember watching 2023 when you made that grand final, and unfortunately lost it. Tell me a bit about that 2023 season and that heartbreak at the end to lead into 2024 and to win it as a team. What did that loss do for you guys?
Definitely fueled the fire. First year for me at South in 2023. And that season was my first season playing club rugby, really. So it was a great season. We had heaps of good players, some from overseas, a couple English blokes on our team. And we had a really good team. Had some really good players, such as playing Super Rugby at the moment, like Lincoln, a few others. just really good players at the end of the day, and just really strong team,
Yeah.
backs to forwards. I think what we really focused on in that time when we did lose is we just fielded a little bit more. We focused on little points where what we could focus on. We tried to really structure our game and crispen up in that off season
Yeah.
and into pre-season as best as we could. And it fell into place for us in 2024 last year, where we had a really good season. We didn't lose many games at all.
Yeah.
So
You guys were absolutely stacked last year. I remember seeing some of the results, and like you guys were just absolutely phenomenal. Probably one of the best Colts one sides to go through
yeah,
recently. Um, like you said, fueled by that fire from 2023, the heartbreak.
yeah.
Um,
And I tell you what, it was all worth it in the end
oh,
when you lift up that premiership and
yeah,
all the boys are
100%.
there celebrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, to win a Colts One premiership for the club's massive. Like
Oh, yeah.
I think it was over 6 years or so since
Yeah.
a premiership had been brought to the club. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really good to celebrate that one with the boys,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just it's not just a year journey, but it's
Yeah.
a career journey for me. Like that'll be up there with the top of my career so far
Yeah.
that
100%.
I've played. So
And you
yeah,
obviously cracked Prem grade last year as well, making your
yeah.
debut a couple times. How did that feel playing as a 20-year-old? It's not that regular. You see a lot of 20-year-olds playing Prems.
No, yeah. So
So how did that feel? Did you feel very targeted when you were on the field?
I wouldn't say targeted. Definitely say like being at that level, there is a difference to physicality,
Yeah.
to your mental as well, and playing it now, week in week out, it's something that I pride myself on. I've
Yeah.
worked really hard in this off season, pre-season to get to where I am. But looking back, it's what I needed at the time. Colts was good, and
Yeah.
coming off the back of the Super 19s, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later, anyways.
Mm.
Yeah, it was just really good experience playing with the caliber of
Yeah.
people that have the skills, the capacity, the physicality, all of it into one, and that was really insightful for
Yeah.
someone as young as I am playing Premier Grade, getting to make my debut. Had a really good debut. Played a few other games that season, and
Yeah.
yeah, just really delve into the club as best as I can, and also delve into the players because at the end of the day, they're going to be your teammates for
Yeah.
a fair few coming years. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a good journey so far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, touching on that Super 19s, obviously, was a pretty well designed comp in my eyes. It was good for them young boys to get that national level exposure. Um, when you first got selected, did you feel confident that you were going to get the call up? Because
Um.
you were having an amazing season. Did
Yeah.
you feel confident that you were like, hey, I think I'm going to get a call up, or was it a complete shock that you got the call?
I guess when I got like the call up
Yeah.
from the coach Dale, it was more like not relief because you do know like the boys talking about it,
Yeah.
training and stuff. Word gets around, word of mouth that there is that opportunity at the end of the year,
Yeah.
and as being a player that's been in the system for a little bit, it's kind of something I wanted to strive for.
Yeah.
Taking a year off, I thought that definitely may impact my selection
Yeah.
and stuff. But I think it was just I worked really hard in that season. We had a good
Yeah.
season. We made the grand final, and when I got the call, it was just like, okay, next job, really. As I
Yeah.
said, always trying to progress one way or another. So
Yeah.
the Super 19s, such a great tournament, as you said. We got to travel around with the boys,
Yeah.
make lifelong friends there. So travelled to Sydney versus Waratahs down there.
Which we got pumped in under 15s. We got pumped.
Yeah,
that was a tough day.
yeah,
Um, but no, like that under night Super 19s comp was phenomenal, and a lot of those boys would have gained a lot of confidence from that as well.
definitely.
If I remember correctly, you guys made the Did you guys make the final for that?
Didn't make the final. We came third,
Yeah.
but it was like the first time that a lot of us would have been televised as well.
Yeah.
On Stan Sport, so it was quite a big thing for us at that age, and to be treated like a team environment and to go into camp for about 6 weeks prior to the tournament.
Yeah.
It was really good straight off the back of season with Souths. Yeah, it was just really good experience, good coaches, great staff. The facilities at Ballymore too, which second to none. So basically treated like the Reds like senior team. So getting to see them train, running opposed sessions against them too. So
that would have been a nice, good experience. You guys would have definitely learnt a lot off watching them running shape at you guys, and like your flanker, for example, could have learnt a lot of how to break off a scrum and really break off a scrum efficiently coming across the field. So little things like that would have helped you guys a lot out.
Definitely. There was little things that definitely sparked a lot for us. And moving on to that tournament, and even for myself, individual roles and positional plays and stuff. It was really good tournament. Overall, I was aiming again for that next level, just try and crack that junior Wallabies. Down to 20s. Fortunately, didn't get a call up for that one, but just pushed around and was able to get my next goal, which was starting a Premier Grade game in 2024. So
so you're obviously studying as well.
Yeah.
You're obviously juggling work, study, and playing rugby. So tell us, what's that like day to day?
Yeah, so I mean, day to day, the routine changes all the time. So I study clinical exercise physiology. So a lot of people are like, "What's that?" So
a lot of more rehab stuff.
A little bit. It's like the best way to put it's a 4-year degree that I study, and then once the 4 years is up, I am qualified for subacute, acute, and chronic conditions and illnesses. So it can be mental, can be physical, and I look at exercise prescription, so prescribing exercise to individuals with those conditions. It could be respiratory condition, metabolic condition, anything really that trying to manage exercise and just look at risks and stuff. So literally anyone I can exercise safely and do well with. So it's really good, very rewarding. Obviously, I'm very passionate about my health and fitness, and it's been a big part of my life with sport. And just I love it. Honestly, it's a great degree coming into my last semester now. So see the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit. So
last semester, then completely finished.
Fully
awesome.
Qualified. So looking forward to that. That's for sure. But
do you have work lined up for when you finish?
Not yet. No. Not yet. So I just still have a few more placements at the moment. Than Matt. So I'll do them. I think it's another 300 hours, and then once I complete them, just finishing off the year, and then into the workforce, which will be nice.
Nice. So Prem grade this year, regular starter or?
Just focusing each game as it comes. I like to think of it every game like my last game, right? So just putting 100% effort in each game, and not just for myself, but for the boys out there. We've worked really hard this off season and pre-season. So best off season pre-season I felt I've ever had. Started early, started back December, early January after Christmas. So it was really rewarding, getting to run out there for that first game on the weekend. Conditions were a bit rough, but
mud pit.
Really just dogfight out there against Sunnybank, but just taking each game as it comes at the moment, bro. And it's just honestly, it's great to be able to play every single game because each game you learn a little bit more about your opposition. You learn about that level a little bit more. You just take it on board each game as it comes. So
So who have you guys got this week?
This week we got GPS. So
Jeeps.
Yeah, you know Jeeps, don't you?
I know Jeeps. Have fun playing again. Have fun being next to that glue factory, mate.
Oh yeah. Hopefully it's not too muddy. So.
I think it might be.
I think so too. Yeah, looking at the weather at the moment.
Yeah, the weather is a bit rough.
Yeah.
But no, if you could, if you could go back to 15-year-old Denzil who just made Junior Gold Cup, what's three things you would tell him?
Yeah. It's a good question. It's a great question, mate. I guess, you know, one thing I'd say is just stay disciplined,
Yep,
Another one, follow your dreams, which I feel like I've done really well. Like
yep.
it's my dream to professionally play rugby union one day. So
So I think you might crack in the next couple of years. To be honest,
yeah,
mate.
thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, just slowly keep on pushing
Yep,
through and yeah, enjoying the journey. I think just that's another one for number three. Just
yep,
enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, and yeah, just have fun along
yep.
the way because you never know when it could be your last game
Yeah, exactly.
or when it could be, the next opening door, next chapter. So
Yep,
yeah, they're the three things that I'd say to my younger self playing.
yep.
Yeah,
Sweet, bro. Hmm. That's all I've got for today, brother.
too
Thanks for
easy.
hopping on. I'll tag Denzil in a post. So go follow Denzil, follow his rugby career. Absolutely killing it at the moment with all his studies, all his work, and obviously his rugby career. But thanks for listening, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks,
Cheers,
Denz.
guys. Thanks, mate.